Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday and all of today's guests brought to you by our title sponsor, Able Auctions and ableauctions.ca. Those guests including Josh Goldberg from Blue Jays Nation, also host of the Designated for Assignment podcast. Again, we've been talking about a Game 6 World Series. Dodgers, Jays, back in Toronto tonight. Rick refusing to hand out candy for trick-or-treaters.
Stop it.
Because he'll be so locked in on tonight's Jays game.
That's true.
Josh, thanks for doing this today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Good.
Will you be handing out candy? Or I guess it's Eastern
It's
time,
okay.
so the trick-or-treating should be died down, right, by the time the Jays game comes around.
Yeah, it's lockdown.
Okay.
Well before 8 o'clock. No worries there. It'll be an earlier evening, but yeah, the lights will be turned off, and baseball will be the primary focal point at 8 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
So what is the atmosphere like in Toronto? It's Halloween. It's Friday, Game 6. They've got 2 cracks to clinch this World Series. What is it like in Toronto right now?
I would say it's pretty crazy. Like there's a lot of anticipation, obviously a lot of excitement. Understandably, this is, it's not over yet. You need to get that 4th win. Blue Jays have done themselves a lot of favors with, generally speaking, how they've played for the most part in the first 5 games of the series. I don't think there's any question that they've been pretty handily the better team than the Dodgers, arguably in 4 of the 5 games for the most part. Even the 18-inning game, they had a lot more opportunities, it felt like, to kind of break through there to win that game, and unfortunately didn't. And they've got 2 cracks to win it at home, and they're one of the best home teams in Major League Baseball. So fans are understandably very excited. But considering it's Toronto and there's, some tortured moments over the years, particularly when it comes to the hockey team, I would say a lot of people aren't necessarily quite counting their chickens just quite yet.
Trey Savage, Josh, we got to talk to you about him. He was here with the Vancouver Canadians back in May. He's played in every level of baseball this year. He's pitched more innings for the Jays in the postseason than he has in his regular season career. How impressed have you been by this performance by Trey Savage?
Words can't really put it into perspective. It's historically great. It's one of the best rookie pitching performances in the history of baseball. And we're talking record-setting strikeouts by a rookie in a World Series game. He set the Blue Jays franchise record for postseason games in terms of strikeouts twice this year. It's wild. There aren't many words that can sum up having this level of success. And it was really impressive that he had his splitter going the way that it did after he struggled so much in the first start with it in Game 1. He was locked in right away. It was immediately clear that he was going to have it.
Hey, Josh, 35 hits, 17 runs. Just the offense in L.A. last 3 games, just incredible. And then last game, first 2 guys up to plate, homers. The offense has been really good for Toronto.
Yeah, it really has. And it's been good most of the season, really since like the first month or so of the regular season. It's been one of the best, if not in some respects, the best offensive team in Major League Baseball. And they've done it in such an interesting way in the playoffs. Obviously, you want to be able to hit home runs in October. They can be the great equalizer.
Yeah.
If you are a little bit chilly, you can flip a game on its head. Look at Game 7 against Seattle. They had nothing going, really, and then bing, bang, boom,
Yeah.
George Springer hits a 3-run homer, and it completely flips the game around. But they haven't abandoned what made them successful all year long, which is putting a ton of pressure on opposing pitchers, not necessarily expanding the strike zone and chasing and having bad swings. They make a ton of contact. They don't strike out very much, and they've increased their power production in October. And when you mold all of that together, you have a really, really difficult team to pitch to. And they're going to need to tap into that in a big way tonight, because the pitcher that is going to be standing in their way of the first World Series win in this city in more than 30 years is one of the best in the business. We saw it in Game 2. He was phenomenal. He's been phenomenal really all playoffs long. He had a great regular season. He's really tough in terms of how you can pick him up and predictability and that sort of thing. So they're going to need to be at their absolute best if they want to have success against him.
You can't get this far without a superstar, and that is what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is. He is fun to watch. 8 homers, 15 RBI, 25 hits. He's been spectacular.
Oh, man, he sure has. Like I wrote before the postseason that it was obvious to say this, but he needed to step up in a really meaningful way and put the team on his back, especially with Bo Bichette on the shelf to start October. Yes. And you think about his postseason career in the first 6 games, it was only 6 games, but 3 trips. They got swept in all 3. He had done nothing, hadn't hit a home run. I think had 3 hits and like 20 some odd at bats. He really hadn't had any positive postseason moments. And then right away, I believe he hit a home run in the first inning of Game 1 against the Yankees. And you're like, okay, maybe this is going to be something. He hits the grand slam in Game 2 against the Yankees. And it's just been ridiculous ever since. We're talking about in one playoffs, he's now the all-time franchise leader in home runs after one postseason run. And he's having a postseason performance on par with some of the all-time greats, like a Barry Bonds, for example, in 2002. The at-bats are so good. He punishes mistakes. He's not chasing. He's not striking out much. He's really the perfect kind of poster boy for what has made the Blue Jays special in October. And it's the combination of contact, not striking out, and hitting for power. And he does all of that in spades.
Josh, before this series started, there were people who said Dodgers sweep. It's going to be, they just don't even show up, Blue Jays. You know what? A lot of people look dumb. And this Blue Jays team is proving a lot of people wrong. Look at the payroll for the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers pitching their ERA before they got to the Jays. I mean, are you surprised we're at where we're at? Because the mighty Dodgers were supposed to be a cakewalk.
I would say maybe a bit surprised. Definitely not shocked, though. I just think that I understand the disparity in terms of name brands to maybe the casual fan. And you'd say, look at this Dodgers lineup with those 3 at the top and the pitching rotation with all the stars that they have. And all of that is fair. But the Blue Jays have neutralized essentially Mookie Betts has been terrible in this series. Freddie Freeman outside of the home run in the 18th inning of Game 3 really hasn't done much either. And the rest of the supporting cast of the Dodgers just has fallen flat. They just haven't supported those guys the way that they need to. Blue Jays pitching's been largely very good. Their best bullpen arms have been good enough when they've needed to. Their lineup, it's just, I understand that the Dodgers saw Philadelphia and Milwaukee, 2 quality teams, but there's just something about this Blue Jays lineup that just really squeezes opposing pitchers. Like they got to Blake Snell twice and nobody could touch him really in the playoffs. You look at the numbers coming into the World Series, and he was basically unhittable and had great command and was throwing his fastball up in the strike zone right where he wanted to. And then he started spraying it in Game 1, and the Blue Jays had a great plan of attack against him and were really aggressive, obviously, the other night in Game 5. And they're just a scrappy team. It's a hard team to really kind of put it into an exact word as to how they're able to have the amount of success that they have and the multitude of ways that they're able to have it. But at this point, it's pointless to try and really dive into it too much. It's just, this is who they've been for the better part of 5 months, and it shouldn't be surprising anymore that they're having success regardless of the level of talent that is on the other end.
Gut feel. And tonight, are we seeing a Game 7?
I after Game 3, I was like, I'm not counting the Jays out. I think they're going to win Game 4, and they did. And I'm saying it. I hope I'm not wrong, but I think they get it done tonight. I just think that there's kind of like a snowball effect situation here, and they are really getting it all together at the right time, where it feels like the Dodgers are just kind of out of sorts a little bit, and their bullpen is a real issue. It was a big-time issue in Game 5, and Dave Roberts, I think, is very concerned about having to go to it. And I just think that they find a way, as they've done all year long, to get it done. And I think in, I don't know, let's say 9 to 10 hours from now, there's going to be a celebration happening at Rogers Center.
It could be a very memorable Halloween, that's for sure. Josh, thanks for doing this today. Really appreciate it. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy maybe tomorrow. And we'll talk again down the road. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, guys.